Right then, boys and girls. Or should I just say boys? I mean, who am I trying to kid? Certainly guys who are interested in 40k. So let's start again, shall we? Alright then, boys. Here we are. Got the part 2 to our little mini-series that we had going on between none other than Rostam's Kampf himself and the Swifty, who's hiding behind the VP at the moment. Look at him. Fierce. Any man who wears a coat like that into battle with this kind of emblematic pauldrons, they're a fearsome person. He's got like a gold-plated pistol as well. Best pistol in the game. Best pistol in the game. Yeah, so basically, Rostam wasn't very happy with the outcome of the last match, and he's abandoned Siege in favour of the Omnissiah because he thinks that's going to give him better odds, and you know what? He's probably right. Stacking a whole lot of range damage definitely will help against Imperial Guard. And while I don't ever think that it's a good idea to not get a Sentinel, Space Marines do deal with Sentinels very easily, so I can understand to some extent why Swift has not got one here. But let's see how it goes for him. So he's gone for a triple Guardsman opening. He's noted this instantly. And is this... yeah, he's already got triple Sergeants, so he intends to use them all in combat, which probably indicates he's not going to get a Sentinel. Okay. And Rostam's going far more standard. He's just going for the typical double tax, and because of that he hasn't noted anything yet because, you know, he wants to get the requisition to get them as soon as possible. Okay, so the Commissar, as expected, charges in with his 5.5 speed and his manly pauldrons and his shield up, and there's not really much that the Tech Marines can do, so they're forced off. But Rostam does get the node, so at least he's not going to have his power decaps, that's something. And the scouts, meanwhile, are pretty much uncontested. To be honest, I think the Guardsmen should just go over here, down this direction, force off the scouts and get that VP. Oh, look at this! Swifty's actually got his Commissar behind the green cover in range stance. What a fucking troll. So he's taking barely any damage, even though there is now 6 Tactical Marines and a Tech Marine shooting at him. He's going to take down the power node. Currently floating quite a lot. Like, if he wants to get Cadishans, he can get them right now. That's probably an oversight. I imagine that he probably does want Cadishans, because he's not got a Sentinel, so you'd think that Cadishans would be coming out to get some sort of melee deterrent. But, okay, yeah, so we see the Cadishans coming out now. A little bit late, but it's not too big of a deal. He's not actually doing that well in map control because he's dedicated the 2 Guardsmen rather than capping. They were just taking down that power node. Or is he going to get the sniper and the Tech Marine? Unfortunately, Guardsmen, yeah, they're not the highest DPS unit, and given that they only really have range DPS, pitiful melee, they're not good at killing retreating units. That said, they did manage to kill a Tactical Marine there, so that's an achievement for them. I bet they feel proud. No doubt they're going to die shortly though, so it'll be short-lived pride. Scouts are doing their karate kicks against these Guardsmen. Generally not effective because, as you can see here, there's so few models that some of the Guardsmen models at the back actually just start shooting their guns at the Scouts. So Scouts do actually lose in melee to the Guardsmen. It's purely because there's just so many goddamn Guardsmen. If it was a 3-on-3 fight, obviously the Scouts would win. But the Commissar and the Cadishans coming back out. Map control is... I mean, it's pretty even, but the requisition is definitely favouring Rostam, whereas the power is favouring Swift. Rostam needs to start getting some generators up though. The fact that Swift managed to take down that power node is proving quite influential, because Rostam cannot build any more gens. That said, he doesn't have a lot of requisition. Holy shit, that's why. He's gone for triple tax. Okay, I mean, how do you beat triple Guardsmen? You go triple tax. And now I expect a flamethrower to kill the Cadishans nice and easy, because as you can see, they blob up quite a lot. Wow, the Aura of Discipline heal them was massive. So yeah, that's another thing. He's got the Aura of Discipline. I guess that makes sense. The thing is, if we look at the values here, whilst the Commissar is in the middle of a skirmish, in fact, is he going to go down? He's going to get punched to death. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of tax. Swift, I think you might need a heavy weapons team or something. Don't think trying to outshoot these is going to go too well. I mean, he's certainly not going to be able to outshoot 3 Tactical Marines with 3 Guardsmen. So he has 2 choices here. He either goes and gets another Guardsman, or he gets a heavy weapons team. Heavy weapons teams can be quite good in this map if you already hold the mid, but the problem is that once the enemy is locked down in the mid, the heavy weapons teams aren't very good at attacking it. So they're good at defense and bad at offense, more so than usual because of the structure of this map. It's quite hard to get flanks, and it can be very oppressive having heavy weapons teams like around this area or around this area. Regardless, if we go back to the aura of discipline, we can see that the actual heal that it gives, allied infantry in a radius of 20 are healed for 16, 12, 8 or 4% of their health when the Commissar is surrounded by 1, 10, 20 and 30 models. So the more models that surround the Commissar, the lower the health is. So if you're in the middle of 3 guardsmen have 9 models each, you are over 20 models. So it's going to only be healing 8% every 12 seconds. I mean, it does still stack, it's healing all the squads, but as far as in combat, it's best used this kind of way where you're only with the Cadetians, and it will currently give the Cadetians a massive boost. How often? Every 8 seconds it will heal 16% of their HP. Yeah, and as you can see, the combination of the Cadetians and the Commissar in this instance just forces off the entire tactical marine blob. But Rostam's got a good choice here. I think this is definitely wise. Maybe we'll see a grenade? Okay, no, but he's gone the Devastators so he can control this Commissar, because this is actually the main threat to him. One-on-one, the tactical marines will pretty much outshoot all the guardsmen easily, and they won't beat the Cadetians one-on-one, but if you can focus fire the Cadetians, you can force them off without actually taking any damage because of how short range they are. So the Commissar, who has now doubled down on his durability by gaining the Carapace armor, which grants him additional HP and additional HP regen, is the big threat at the moment, but by getting the Devastators he can really control the Commissar. So I think this matchup is very much going to go down to how well Swift can use the combination of the old reliable from the Cadetians and potential flanks with the Commissar to deal with the Devastators. As we can see, he's got a lot more requisition, which means that he put down the gens faster, which means that he is teching before Rostam. But if we just look at the rosters, Rostam's army is clearly superior. 1 tactical marine is better than 1 guardsman. Devastators are slightly weaker than the Cadetians, but there's also scouts to account for. So the devs plus scouts beat Cadetians, and each tac is better than a guardsman. So yeah, Rostam's army is better. Granted, Swift does have 2 upgrades on his leader, whereas Swift doesn't have any, but let's face it, the army is better than Rostam has. He needs to use that advantage to maintain this superior map control that he already has at the moment. Potentially set up your Devastators, get a Flamer on your attacks, and get the bash off. This is his opportunity to do it now. This is unacceptable. This level of mass retreating, I don't know why he retreated out there. And he's getting flanked from multiple angles. This is actually quite good play by Swift. Flanking from multiple angles, making the Devastators quite useless, and using his abundance of guardsmen to slowly cap up the map. Commissar still proving to be a real pain in the ass. They just can't kill him due to that regen. Look at it. Steadily going up, up, up. Every time there's nothing focused firing him, he is just healing health. And he's healing the Cadetians. Yeah, I think he's using the Aura of Discipline quite well, actually. I don't know if it's intentional, or if it's purely by coincidence. And strangely enough, we see that Swift has got Flamers. Never mind Rostam. Oh, nice. Once again, just like in the first game where we've seen the old reliable wiping the heretics, in this game, a cheeky old reliable killing a tech marine. But we don't see a vehicle flips this, so I think he's forgot. And Rostam is floating. Okay, not anymore. Rostam's going tier 2. Swift has got a bit caught up in the action and he's not buying a vehicle. So he is very much losing the advantage that he gained himself right now. I'm not sure why the Cadetians and the Guardsmen are fleeing from this injured TAC Marine squad. They could easily just shotgun blast them out of cover and then focus fire them down. I think he's realised that now. Maybe he thought more units were chasing, but... And he's going for a heavy weapons team now. Okay, that's... I do not agree with this play. So I understand that he might be worried that Rostam can easily get a lot of AB, so a Chimera might not be the best choice. you know, he's got 3 attacks. So he could, in theory, get a las cannon and triple missile launchers. Obviously, he's not going to get all that AV for a Chimera, but there's a lot of AV potential. But it doesn't matter, that's going to cost him loads. He's not going to have the money for that. So I still think it's a decent investment. Besides, you can just hide it behind the line of sight blockers here, and have the guardsmen here, and it will reinforce them. So even with AV, it's quite easy to keep your Chimera alive and allow it to contribute to the fights nonetheless. The problem I see with this heavy weapons team, look at Rostam's eco now. It was quite obvious he was going to be behind. He went from a very, very expensive tier 1, super heavy on wreck. So he should know that he is going to be behind, and that a unit is going to be coming out soon. Because you can see, Swift doesn't see any tier 2 upgrades yet. What I'm worried about is Rostam getting ASM. The Dreadnought is actually a really big mistake. I don't think he has actually seen the heavy weapons team yet. Maybe once he sees the heavy weapons team, he'll count. Oh my god, look at that fucking damage that Power Claw special just did. That just instantly went, wow. That was insane. I need to check the damage on that Power Claw special, that was huge. It took off like a third of the whole tax squad's HP. Great stuff. Nice to see the Power Claw actually, you don't see it very often. It's mostly just the Power Sword spam. But we're going to say, in this instance, all Rostam had to do really is get the ASM, and they're going to be bouncing around through all of the Guardsman squads, they can't touch them. The heavy weapons team instantly is countered. And yeah, Kadishans are okay, but with Merciless Strike, the ASM will trounce Kadishan Devils. So really the only threat is the Commissar. Now he's not gone for that, he's gone for a Dreadnought, and the problem here is that IG have such great AV. He's already got the Power Claw, so that's something. He's already got the Sergeant, so he's got a Melter Gun on the Kadishans. And I don't know whether he's seen the heavy weapons team or not, but even if he didn't, you should know that it's quite easy for IG to get las cannon. And the IG heavy weapon team las cannon is actually one of the best in the game. It does the highest damage per hit from any las cannon. So I don't fancy the chances of this Dreadnought, if I'm honest with you. That said, Rostam has plenty of time. That's a bit of a whiffed attempt at a grenade there. He has plenty of time to make up. He's definitely got the VP lead. Because as we've been seeing, Swift has been very focused around this central area. He's contested power node, sometimes pushing down to the natural VP. But Rostam's just had this VP capped for so long. Even now, he's pressuring down against Swift. In fact, Rostam going, oh, this is a bit overambitious. Maybe execute the las cannon to make it do double damage. It's so safe here, right in front of the base. Missed opportunity to not execute the las cannon. Imagine if those 3 shots did double damage. This Dreadnought would nearly be dead. I think he has activated, yeah, he's activated the Omnisire Global, so the Dreadnought is getting repaired quite a lot autonomously. Nice use of the flare here. Stops the Devastators from being able to suppress temporarily, but they're going to start doing it again soon, and unfortunately Rostam, well unfortunately for Swift, Rostam has been quite wise, and he's protecting his Dreadnought from the last cannon using the line of sight blocker. A little bit of a flank. Ooh. Oh, no, Swift, come on. Burn the gens. Okay, he's noticed. Nice little sneaky gem bash from the Flamer Guardsman. Actually, yeah, they were here earlier on. That was quite cool. Little flank from the Kadishans. Unfortunately, it doesn't do too much. And an assault cannon barrage quickly demolishes the Guardsman from here, forces them off. Kadishans have to flee. No major losses from Swift. He's going tier 3. With this pressure in his gen farm, he's going tier 3. That's mental. But I suppose he knows that he has secured a gem bash against Rostam. And Rostam dumped a lot of power into getting the Dreadnought, plus upgrading into the assault cannon, so I don't know. So we see 2 Commissars on the non-Flamer Guardsman. That makes sense. That's a good little composition. The problem is he's losing his entire farm. And all of the map as well. So I'm not sure what kind of play he's vouching on. And he's got no VPs! What? What is he doing here? This is crazy. This is such a bold play. I wouldn't mind, he's not even the Lord General, so it's not like he can drop down the Lehman for half the power cost. Fortunately, he is going to get the decap and stop the VP bleed temporarily, but oh god, the assault cannon barrage. Oh, so many giblets of guardsmen. Even the damage over time from the Hellfire rounds might finish this guardsman squad off. Oh my god, they're down to 3 guardsmen. Get a bit more damage off from the Dreadnought, but it's just not enough. Blessings of the Omnisire go down again. This is brutal. The heavy infantry of these tactical marines is just basically impervious to the lasguns. He needs to try and get plasma guns up, but obviously he's saving up all of his power now because he's got barely any income. He's only got the power node and a contested point which doesn't even have a node. This is a really, really tricky spot for Swift. He's put himself in a massive just place of tension so unnecessarily. I don't understand why he's done this. He didn't need to. Ogrins would have been amazing in this instance. Rostam doesn't have any plasma guns, so he'd have had to have spent a lot on that. The combination of the super heavy infantry Ogrins and the vehicle Chimera means that Rostam can't counter both of them. So that's a nice little 1-2 that you can do in tier 2 as the IG. Combine it with the Aura of Discipline and have the Commissar and the Ogrins go around on their own. You're going to get 16% of the Ogrins' HP restored every 8 seconds. That's huge on such a tanky infantry unit. And then you can just swap out to Stubbornness whenever the Commissar gets low on HP and just swap between the two. When it's got the Assault Cannon, the Dreadnought doesn't have any melee resist. Oh, we're going to see a retreat barrage. Oh wow, we really whiffed that. We should have angled it sort of up this way rather than doing it horizontally. So Swift is hanging on. Really with a sliver, and that's about it. I mean, Sternguard are putting in a lot of work actually. Look at this, level 2.5. The Dreadnought's just too tanky. You can't kill it with just the last cannon. That's why he needs the Ogrins, or at least the Commissar with Stubbornness, to be in there tying it up. But somehow, in spite of all of this, Swift has snuck around every periphery of the map and has managed to get a bloody triple cap. So it's 110 VPs to 350 for Rostam. There's still loads of time left for Rostam, and Rostam has, while I've been talking about all of Swift's problems, Rostam has now teched to tier 3. That's only going to present more problems for Rostam. But unfortunately for him, he also now has no power thanks to Swift's sneaky gem bashes. So I think that needs to be a priority. I would definitely drop down a couple of power. Well, I guess I'm going to be reloading this replay. Thanks, Steam. Be right back then, guys. Okay, and we're back. So we were somewhere around this point. We just missed the barrage and the Kadashans here, so they'd managed to escape and moved the Dreadnought across to secure the VPs because Swifty somehow managed to get a triple cap. But on the way is the Saviour. Just like the prior game before, what won it for Swifty? Double Lehman Russ. Here comes the first one. How's Rostam going to deal with it? He's got a Devastator. Let's see if he can keep them at 3 models this game rather than send them out of base at 1. And yeah, he's going to need a las cannon on it. On the plus side, he is tier 3 himself. He could really do with getting some Terminators with Cyclone missile launchers. I think they'd be very helpful. I don't really think that getting a Predator is going to be very useful against Lehmans, especially when there's already a las cannon on the field. Yeah, Kadashans with the Sarge should make short work of these scouts. As long as they can dodge the grenade. Oh, well, I don't know what kind of throw that was. It is surprisingly well nonetheless, but there you go. Sternguard are moving in to save the day, force him off. What's going on down here? Oh, the Lehman's already on the field. And is that hitting from there? Oh, I was going to say, no, shoot the Tech Marine. Needs to move it up because it can't get sight on the Lehman. Why? Lehman, please drive away. Do not stand in front of a Dreadnought and try and ram it to death. Ooh. Fuck, that was a good... Jesus, that's blood everywhere. Imagine what that'd smell like. I don't know, if you give Guardsmen like that with an assault cannon, there's that much blood just in the air. Can you smell it? Can you smell the blood? The minced meats? Imagine the screams. Imagine the sound of that. You hear how loud that assault cannon is compared to everything else? Be visceral. It's gonna make it out of here. It's now level 3. You can get Dark Age technology to add another several hundred HP. Don't actually know how much it gives. I think it's 300. It might just be 200, I'm not sure. Hopefully I can catch it when it's upgrading. No, I won't be able to see it. It is under repairs. Okay, so he's using his level 3 attacks to get back the natural VP, and the Kalashins are coming fully healed to get some revenge on these annoying Stern Guards who stopped them getting that decap before. The Stern Guards don't want any of it. They're out of there. They've had enough. That's Cannon's chilling, protecting the mid. Wait, is he even deployed right now? Strange animation bug, but okay. And we see the last cannon, cool. But we don't know what Rostam's going to get to actually try and counter the Lehman as far as his tier 3 units go. We also see a missile attack. It's pretty standard, you know. Wow, that last cannon came surprisingly close to dying. It's not good. What? Swift, can you please repair your tank? Oh my goodness, this assault cannon dreadnought has killed about 50 bloody guardsmen alone. How are you living, brother? How are you staying alive? Oh, shit. Oh. God, he was there for 1 second. I was getting a nice look at his wonderful lats. Like, you could tell that guardsman worked out. He was a tough son of a bitch, and then gone. Just a mist. No corpse to bring home for his family, just a mist. These filthy heretical space marines. Commissar, would you do something about this? They're shooting you. It's maximum heresy. But no, of course, his focus in life is to stare at the edge of this victory point, because that's all that matters. In Quest's heresy, in the world of Quest's heresy. It's the name of the map, by the way, if you don't know, guys. It's Quest's heresy. Kadishans have infiltrated on the right hand side using their Sarge. They get that as a passive ability. It's cool, so they'll definitely be able to solo the Tech Marine. A little bit disappointed with his use of the Tech Marine, if I'm honest with you. He could have been playing anyone. He's been using the Mark of the... No, it's not called Mark of the Omnicide. What's it called? The bloody global that heals them. The Omnicide Global to heal the Dreadnought. He's been using that, which is fair enough, but he's not really been using anything else. I was thinking about Mark, because I wanted to say, there's not been any Mark target. Why not? And the Dreadnought gets another dozen kills. You know, at this point, it doesn't even shock me. I've just become so accustomed to it. And Rostam's at it. Oh, nice grenade, actually. I don't know why Rostam just parks his lascannons right in front of Lehman Russ's. Maybe you can get away with that against other tanks, but not against the damn Lehman Russ. Oh, it's going to be the end of the level 4 Dreadnought, that's a shame. Ooh, missile attacks are there. But the tank still got 650 plus HP. It's going to be fine. Attacks just do not have the DPS. And the problem, I see another comeback right here. This is what's going to happen, because Predators are inferior to Lehmans. They're faster. Against infantry, they're actually probably better. They have similar damage on their bolters, but their cannons do more damage and fire a hell of a lot quicker. And yeah, because they're quicker as an actual unit, the actual speed of the tank itself, they can zip around bleeding enemy infantry a lot better than the Lehman. But when it comes to a straight up fight, Predator doesn't have a chance. So I don't think it's the correct decision. But he could do the little tank Terminator combo. It's a nice 1-2 that you can do with the SM tier 3, very hard to handle. It's definitely something he can do. Actually, he can't, because he's only got 115 red. So scratch that one, that's not going to work. Stern Guard are going to go down because he wanted to use Space Marine powers to punch through a Lehman. Fucking heretics, man, they're so stupid. They don't understand the power of Imperial mechanics. And we actually see the Vanquisher coming out, which makes sense. It loses the splash damage on its ranged attacks, on the cannon attacks, but it fires a lot faster and it gets additional range. So it's very nice as a sort of tank killer role in the back lines, sniping like Devastator models, sniping Marines, you know. It's very helpful in that manner, but also it can outrange tanks, so in a 1v1 situation, it's decent, but you do have to keep microing it to move it away, because it doesn't have the damage per hit that the las cannon has. What's this do? So this is 220 armor piercing. Oh, it doesn't tell me the DP hit, it only tells me the DPS. Let's have a look. 685. Oh, that was a rear armor shot, so that complicates everything. But one more of them is just going to kill it instantly, and with a massive range. Oh, decides to shoot the Tech Marine. Well done, Lehman Rust Driver. That was wise. Well, that was not ideal. And with the massive repair rate from the Guardsman, the Lehman Rust is going to be full health before this Predator even gets in there. Look at the bloody range of that Vanquisher. So we've seen it there, it did just over 150 HP, just like that, from such massive distance. The Predator just can't do anything, it really can't. Calishans finally do get forced off, but my god, that's took a long time, and look at the VPs now. Swifty is chilling at 51 VPs, and Rostam's at 91. And whilst Rostam does get the hold of this VP, now Swift can just move up the side, and boom, he's caught this one. It's going to be so difficult to push through the centre with that Lehman there. I really don't think Swift should be prioritising bashing. Yeah, he needs to get the VPs, that has to be the priority. That's all that matters when he's only got 50 and his opponent only has 91. Honestly, I think some plasma guns would have been great earlier on. Why not? We've not seen any orbs beyond the side yet either. The Predator's actually managed to completely flank the las cannon. Swift. Okay, he's noticed. Cool. So not gonna die. Not yet. They live to fight another day. Maybe kill a Predator later on. Saying that, if the Predator chases them down, they probably are gonna die. But he was too slow. Oh, Jesus Christ. Those Vanquisher cannon rear armor shots though. Look at how much faster it fires with the Vanquisher. Ooh, Emperor's Wrath. Oh, it missed. Tier 3 upgrade from Commissar. 50 power, but calls down 4 rockets, dealing 115 Manticore damage in a small radius. I don't actually know what Manticore damage does or is compared to any other type of damage, but I imagine it's very similar to Explosive in that it kills pretty much everything. Tech Marine got sniped by these Guardsmen. Good job, fellas. And the Commissar is pissed. Oh, I love the Vanquisher on the Lehman. Firing so quickly, just... like, it gets Tank Killer, Tank Hunter range. What the hell happened to that shot, though? It's straight over the top. But it also has the durability of a Lehman, which is already just massive compared to any other tank. I mean, look at it, 1,320 health at level 2. The Predator's on 700. There's no comparison. Ooh, Rocket Room. Well, that seals the deal. He's done it again. Let me tell you the best thing about this. Rostam's the fella who sent me these replays, not Swift. I thought he'd at least win one of the games. But honestly, Swift, what the hell are you doing with your bloody Commissar? I get that Lehman's a good man, but you are pushing it with these Lehman fast techs. I don't know why Rostam can't kill them. Don't go for a Predator to counter a Lehman. That's one thing that I'll say to you all. Do not rely on Predators, Chaos Predators, looted tanks, Prisms. They're not going to kill a Lehman. I mean, damn, Prisms only do like 130 damage per shot or something. It's pathetic. The Guardsman will just out-repair it. In Rostam's case here, he had a las cannon, a missile tax, a las pred, and then he went for a second Predator. Instead of that first las pred, just get Terminators. Get the Cyclone missile on them. You see, and then get Vanguard. Because once you force off the Guardsman, the Lehman is a lot easier to deal with. It doesn't actually have that high DPS, it's just because it never bloody dies, it's constantly churning out the low DPS that it does, and over a long period of time, it does start to mess up your economy, and it does start to pick up the levels, and then it just gets even harder to kill. But Rostam was just throwing Predators at it, and it's not going to work. The Lehman is the superior tank. No other tank can compete with it. Maybe if you came in for a little flank behind it and you snared it in like an ambush, that'd be great. But that's not going to happen on this map when everything is centered around the center. Centered around the center, who would have guessed that, eh? But well played nonetheless to Swift. You've got to commend his tenacity. He was down massively in that mid-game. Though, yeah, part of that is skipping basically all of his tier 2. He got a heavy weapons team, and that was it. Interesting. But the Lehman Russ worked, and the Commissar put in a lot of work, level 4. Surprisingly, the Tech Marine was level 5. He didn't really put in that much work, I don't think, but the reason why he's got such a high level is he's been poking the Guardsman squads, and then the Assault Cannon Dreadnought just killed like 12 models, so he gets a nice chunk of that XP, which levels him up. But yeah, I think a relay beacon around here, a turret, maybe even in the late game he could have got a turret, a missile turret, 330 damage per hit to the Lehman, that would have helped. And mark target, try and snipe down the Cadetians when they come in with their little flanks, kill them with your Hellfire rounds and your Stern Guard. I think some ASM would have done brilliantly. He had no Ogrins, he didn't have the Power Sword to get the chain knockback, he didn't even have Plasma Guns or a Chimera. The ASM would have practically been invincible. I think that would be the best way for Rostam or any other Tech Marine player to deal with this kind of Lehman Russ fast tech. You have to punish the IG player if he's going to go for a fast tech. Don't let him get away with it, guys. Don't let them. But fortunately today, Nazism has lost. And the Imperium remains strong. I hope you all enjoyed that cast. Fox Team, top it out.